everyone? Welcome to another episode of EETV, where we strive to review everything in entertainment. I'm excited about Chainsaw Man or Chainsaw Man in Japanese because it gives me the Jujutsu Kaisen vibes. But I'm liking this shonen so far, and since it's the spooky season, I felt it appropriate to review this anime. And like I said before, I'm going to review the anime before I get into the manga. So let's begin with this. We know that Denji here has been partnered with Pochita, and now they're a devil-human hybrid, never seen before by the Division 4 organization in Japan. And he has found a job as a devil hunter, and episode 2 opens in with him being saved by Makima, and he's in the car with her in the limo. And she basically treats him like a dog, just like I said in the previous episode. The way he was treating him is just like a pet, and that was really messed up, what was going on there. And what I was also speculating in the last video, my unanswered question got answered in this video here. In the second episode, we learned that the chainsaws also harm Denji, so he loses blood. So it looks like though he regains that blood through eating, which is good to see what his weakness is and how he goes about doing things. I like how they had the backstory, how he told Makima how he met Pochita and how they took care of each other and what he's been through. And I like how the story progresses here. You know, we see here that he explains to her that how he got his devil powers and how Pochita is basically his heart now. And quite interesting to see how he's literally, like I said in the last video, been through living hell, as this is the first time that Denji has had a real meal. This is the first time he had udon, because he was basically just having bread and water when it was just him and Pochita living in that shack, and when he was working for the Yakuza. And it was interesting to see how he was still acting like a normal teenager, you know, acting like he couldn't eat so Makima could feed him. So I found that interesting, that he still retained some traits. He's just a normal everyday guy. Just because he's been through some stuff doesn't mean that everything is wrong for him. And remember, he just wants to live like a normal person. He doesn't want to be rich and famous. He just wants to be like a normal person, just because he's been through so many things. Now Makima takes him to the Japanese headquarters of Division 4, and he gets to meet his partner for the very first time. Forgive me if I mispronounce this. Aki. You know, he receives his uniform, his shirt and his tie, and he meets Aki, which will be the person he'll be patrolling with, the gentleman with the sword. And it's great to see how the back and forth that they have here with one another. And I like the little spat that they get into, yeah, because he wants him to stay away from Makima, and Aki says no, you can't. And they basically get into a brawl, and I like the fact that Denji goes straight for the Roshinbo. Hits him square in the nuts to get his point across, to make sure he's not to be trifled with. I enjoyed that they showed him he's not to be trifled with, and how this episode progressed, just showing how everything's going along. And you know, we got a little bit of a information dump in this episode, which is great for those that are in my position who didn't have a chance to read the manga yet and just going through with the anime. So I like how they are progressing the story thus so far. I also like the fact that they really emphasized and they stuck to the point how he was going through such things as not even just being able to bathe, you know, because when he goes back to the apartment, he gets to take a bath in a while and brush his teeth and eat real food all over again. And I like the fact that he didn't back down from his partner, showing him what he's made of and why he is going to stay in this job and strive forward, because he wants this normal life, because he's been in such dire straits beforehand because of his father owing such a huge debt to the Yakuza, that he's really going to show that he is worthy of having a normal life, and he's willing to do anything to keep it. So I like the enthusiasm of Denji's character. Really shows that he is not going to give up, but is going to do what is necessary to stay there. You know, he's enjoying things that he's never had a chance of enjoying before, and he is grateful of that. So that's one of the things that I do like to see in anime, that, you know, a character is showing whatever they've been through, and they're grateful of their upgrade in life, or the upgrade in their situation. So he's living with Aki, and he's enjoying the bath, eating things he never had a chance to eat because he wasn't able to afford them before. And just being able, before, like, he was living in a shack, they didn't even have a toilet in there, so he's enjoying that as well. So I am grateful, and I like to see when they show that he used the toilet paper, because it's been such a long time since he's been treated like a human being, or got to live like an actual human being. So they go into their first assignment, and they see the bird devil, and they're able to take him out. And I like how it shows that Denji has increased physiology because of his merging with Pochita. He doesn't even have to break out into his Chainsaw Man form. He's able to decapitate the demon with an axe, showing his increased prowess, and went with one slice, by the way, with that axe, showing that he does not necessarily has to go into his devil form to get things done, that he has enhanced physiology, strength, and durability because of his merging with Pochita. I also like that the back and forth, the rivalry between him and Aki, because it shows that neither one of them is able to back down, and it gives a little bit more interesting side to the backstory. Now, I know some of you who watch this are going to reveal some things from the manga, and that is just fine. I'm just going to make sure that I stick to this. And I also like the introduction of the fiend Power, the blood devil. Now, I am speculating this because later on in the episode, we see that she chooses her weapons by forming them from blood, and they do come out of her wrist. And with the little bit that I did read about Chainsaw Man, is that a fiend is a devil that has taken over the corpse of a human being. So if that's the case with Power, and the blood is able to come out of looks like a horizontal cut through her wrist, is it because the human being that used to inhabit that body with her soul, did she commit suicide? I'm just speculating that. And I also like how they address that that they send Denji and Power to patrol in other areas that are not necessarily occupied by humans, because her horns would stand out. So I like how they show that, because some other series just like ignore that, and like the people go about like, oh no, I'm not noticing this person that looks like a human and they got horns protruding out of their head, even though there's no signs of a convention or anything goes on. And I also like how they're given a protocol to go through when they meet regular city cops when they're working for Division 4. I like to see little small details with that, just to keep the mythos going. I also like that episode because it shows the things that he's thinking, like also the, you know, the body that Power's inhabiting, like I'll be able to put with anything as long as she's cute enough. I enjoyed that as well. Now, if you look right here, this is when Power jumps to action in her battle entrance here, and she smells blood, and she goes about attacking when she sensed the demon. And someone else from Section 4, as you can see here, is calling in about the sea cucumber devil. And you see Power jumps off the cliff, and when you look right here, you see the blood coming out here. It leads me to believe, just like I said earlier in the video, that maybe the human being that was in that body before Power inhabited maybe committed suicide because of how that blood, came out of there. So the episode was great, ending on a high note to see what's going on. And I thoroughly enjoyed episode 2 of Chainsaw Man, aka Chainsaw Man in English, and I'm looking to see more of this. Like I said before, if you spoil it for me, that's okay, but I'm just going to stick to my thing with this, and I'm going to review the anime before I get into the manga. I thank you for tuning in for another episode of EETV, where we try to bring you everything in entertainment. Please like, share, and subscribe if you feel like it. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody.